flea can jump nearly 100 times its height. For a human being, that would be like jumping to the top of a skyscraper. So if you put fleas in a jar, they'll jump right out. Let's say you put a lid on top of the jar so the fleas can jump out. At first, they'll try and keep hitting the bottom of the jar lid. And after a while, they'll learn that hitting the lid isn't such a good thing and start to jump just high enough not to hit the lid. The interesting thing is, if you remove the lid, they don't jump out. In fact, the fleas will never jump higher than the level of the lid. They've been conditioned that way to only jump so high, even though they're capable of jumping way higher. Their behavior is now set for the rest of their lives, and when these fleas reproduce too, well, their offspring will automatically follow their examples. Guess what? Children are domesticated the same way that we domesticate a flea, a dog, a cat, or any other animal. In order to teach a dog, we punish the dog and we give it rewards. We train our children, whom we love so much, the same way that we train any domesticated animal, with a system of punishment and reward. We're told, "You're a good boy, you are such a good girl," when we do what mom and dad wants us to do. When we don't, we are a bad girl or a bad boy. Well, society has the power to tame a lion into a dog. And man, actually, is the most domesticated animal of all. On your path to personal freedom, you are going to walk on the path of the braves. And who are the braves? They are those who are able to transcend the social conditioning as they discover their personal power and learn to live with clear intent and impeccability. So here are 4 agreements I'm going to share with you that have made a tremendous difference in my life. They are pretty much an awesome guide on how to exactly do just that. Transcend social conditioning, and this is important. They are inspired from an ancient Toltec wisdom that is actually universal, you know? So here they are. The first agreement: be impeccable with your word. This is the most important one, and also the most difficult one to honor. Be impeccable with your word. It sounds very simple, yet a big one. First, let's look at what the word impeccability actually means and how we define it. Impeccability means without sin. Impeccable comes from the Latin peccatus, which means sin. The im in impeccable means without, so impeccable means without sin. Religions talk about sin and sinners, but let's understand what it really means to sin. A sin is anything you do which goes against yourself. Everything you feel or believe or say that goes against yourself is a sin. You go against yourself when you judge or blame yourself. So being impeccable is not going against yourself. When you are impeccable, you take responsibility for your actions without judging or blaming yourself. Okay? So when you're impeccable, you don't use your word against yourself, indulging in guilt or shame. You also don't use your word against others in blaming, criticizing, or gossiping. You also honor your commitments and only make commitments you intend to follow through. Think about it. How are you doing on those fronts? Do you honor your commitments? When you say you're going to do something, do you really intend to follow through? Or do you kind of say yes to every request because you think you need to? And you figure out you can always flake later. That's not good. We've all said yes too often when a polite no would have been more appropriate, don't you think? So let's practice honoring our word and the commitments we make, shall we? Okay. The second agreement: don't take anything personally. Well, whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. If I see you on the street and say, hey, you're such a loser, without knowing you, well, it's not about you, it's about me. If you take it personally, then perhaps you believe you're a loser. Maybe you think to yourself, how does she know? Is she a psychic? Or can everybody see how much of a loser I am? The habit of feeling hurt about what others do or do not do, or what they say or do not say, steals your force and peace and ruins your project. It even ruins careers and enterprises. The world's opinion of you is always unsettled, get that? And it is divided. So do not worry about opinions of others who don't even have the best opinion of themselves. Nothing other people do is because of you. It's because of themselves. Get that? When you make it a strong habit not to take anything personally, you avoid many upsets in your life. Your anger, jealousy, and envy will disappear. Even your sadness will simply disappear if you don't take things personally. So write this agreement on paper, please, and put it on your fridge or somewhere you can easily see it every day to remind you all the time not to take anything personally. All right? Third agreement, don't make assumptions. We have a tendency to make assumptions about everything. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We could swear they are real. We make assumptions about what others are doing or thinking. We take it personally, and then we blame them and react by sending emotional poison with our word. Go figure. That is why when we make assumptions, we're asking for problems. When we make an assumption, we misunderstand, we take it personally, and then we end up creating a whole big drama for nothing. So don't make assumptions, okay? Actually, ask yourself, are you making assumptions right now about someone's thinking or doing? Can you see how the drama factor could go down dramatically if you just have the courage to ask, what's up? The way to keep yourself from making assumptions is to ask questions. If you don't understand, ask, all right? Have the courage to ask questions until you are clear as you can be. Identify where you're making some assumptions right now and have the courage to ask them, what's up? And get out the drama of Assumptionville, okay? The fourth agreement, always do your best, yeah? This is the agreement that allows the other three to become deeply ingrained habits. The fourth agreement is about the action of the first three, to always do your best. Under any circumstance, always do your best. No more, no less. And keep in mind that your best is never going to be the same from one moment to the next. Everything is alive and changing all the time. So your best will sometimes be high quality and other times it will be not as good. It's okay, okay? And think about it. When what you're doing is less than what you're capable of doing, and I'm not talking about what you should be doing here, no, but what your higher self knows you're capable of, well, there is a gap. And in that gap is where depression, anxiety, and disillusionment hang out. When we close that gap by doing our best, there is no room for angst, negative stuff, etc. And we feel really good, right? So here are the 4 agreements for you, and truly, an awesome guide in helping you transcend social conditioning and so much more. If you want to know more about these agreements, you can read Don Miguel Ruiz, the author of the book, The 4 Agreements. This is a really simple, really cool, really powerful book one of the many books I have read on my own journey, and one that I think you'll also enjoy if you haven't already read it. All right? Yes, you'll need a very strong will in order to adopt these 4 agreements. And if you can begin to live your life with these agreements, the transformation in your life will be amazing. You will see the drama of hell disappear right before your very eyes, and you will be creating a whole new dream, your personal dream of heaven in your life. You don't have to take huge leaps, my friend. You just have to take baby steps and keep on taking them. Great and lasting success is achieved through consistent small steps. You know, slow and steady is the best way to overcome your resistance to change. Remember that. All right? This is Rama. I hope this served you, and I'll see you next time.